6 artists, 1 junk journal. Welcome to the final video of my collaboration with 49 Dragonflies, Una Tacita de Scrap, Joey Defy, Shabby Debbie Duda and Roxy Creations. As you can see, I have the 5 signatures here on my desk. And I'm so excited because now I have to bring them into one junk journal. And yeah, take a cup of coffee, take perhaps some chocolate. I have the chocolate here that Barbara has sent me. I'm really happy that I have this here because I think I will need it, definitely. And yeah, I will show you in this video how I will bring these signatures into the junk journal. And the coolest thing about this whole thing is that you can win the junk journal that I will create in this video. So in the end of the video, I will tell you what you have to do to win the junk journal. So first of all, we have to create it. So I have to create it. And yeah, in the end, you will get to know how you can win it. So the first thing that you probably see here is that all of those signatures all together are really fat. So as you can see, the ladies did a really great job by making some really gorgeous signatures. And yeah, the problem is that no, it's not a problem. So my thoughts are that I don't want to make one big spine. I don't want to make this kind of monster journal that has this really thick spine, but I thought about another idea. So I will do it a little bit different today. So perhaps it's also an idea for you if you have created some signatures that are really fat and you don't know exactly how to bring them into one junk journal, then this video can also be an idea how to do that. So the first thing that I have here is a normal book cover. So this thing here, the spine, is about 4.5 centimeters. Of course, that's way too less to bring all the signatures in here, but this book cover here is so gorgeous, and I had this for a very long time, and it was in my stash, and it was waiting for the right journal that I can use it for. And I think this special project, yeah, it's definitely the right one to use this cover here. So the story behind this cover is the following. I was in Rome on a holiday, and there was a very big flea market, and I went to this flea market, bought some things. I was really overwhelmed about all the stuff that you can get there, and then it began to rain, and we had to go to our hotel, so back to our hotel. And on the way back, there was a bunch of books laying on the ground, and the rain, yeah, you know, made all those books wet. And I saw this cover and I fell in love with this book. So the pages, of course, were inside there when I found it, but the pages were really wet and really ugly. So yeah. I were on the street there and I teared the pages out to get only the cover. And that's also the reason why this book looks so strange, because yeah, you see it's here a little bit wrinkly and that stuff. It has a little, yeah, some kind of waves and this really used look already that was, yeah, because of the rain and the water that went into it. So but I think this is a really nice thing for this journal, and I want to use it. So I prepared this by adding a layer of Mod Podge to the outside. And for the inside, and that's the first thing that I want to do, is I prepared this fabric here. I dyed that the other day with some distress oxides and some of this things from the coffee. So this here, this brown color comes from coffee, and the rest is distress oxide. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to glue the fabric to the inside of the book cover. So for this plan, I'm using Mod Podge, and as you can see, I do that step by step. So in the first step, I put the Mod Podge to one of the cover parts and then dry everything with my heat gun after attaching the fabric. Then I put the Mod Podge to the spine, and this way I can make sure that this glue doesn't dry too fast. And especially for the spine, I use my bone folder to get this original folds also to the fabric. And yeah, that means back to the new book cover. And of course, that's really important, yeah, for the end result, so that we can open and close the book later really easily. And the plan now is to take two of the signatures. So I have chosen this both, and I decided to put this both here into this first section of the journal. So let me just show you. So this will be some kind of a hidden spine later, so that this both signatures will go in here. And I'm a little bit afraid to say that, but as you can see, this is, yeah, some kind of strange looking. I think that's a normal thing when different people are working on the same project and they don't have the cover material and the spine size and that stuff in front of their eyes. Of course, something like this can happen. The signature of Barbara is really fat and really bulky, and the signature of Christina is not so fat, even if they use the same amount of pages. That means I will divide Barbara's signature later into two, so that we have three signatures later in this journal part, in this part of the journal, I mean, so that this here looks not such strange like it looks now. Then, sorry, this whole thing will be something like this. And then you can turn it like this later, so that when you look to the to the front of the book, you will see this here, even if this is normally meant as the backside spine. And then it's not so easy with only two arms. This will then go into here, and look at this. I don't know how you see that, but I think this is the perfect color combination. I absolutely love that. And also in combination with this green, I think that looks really, really nice. Okay, so this will go into here, and I think I will also divide this signature into two, so that that looks a little bit more harmonical from this side later. And then we have this here left over, and we have two signatures left over, so that we can make a second journal like the first one. But perhaps I'm thinking about doing that in a some kind of how is that called, a soft cover style, so that this will go into here. And now I realize, and that was the thing that I knew before, that this fabric is not enough, so that we have to make something, yeah, something like this, that it can fit. I know that looks a little bit strange to your eyes, to mine as well at the moment, but that will work. And in the end we will have something like a lap book. So next I'm trying to figure out where the other both spines have to be. That was not so easy. That was a lot of measuring, a lot of, yeah, trying out, flipping the book back and forth. But then I had it, and I glued this original spine of another book to my fabric to have an easier job. I thought when I use an original spine, it would be easier later to get this original folds to the fabric when I have them there already. To cover this up, I used another piece of this green fabric and glued it on top, and then I sewed around so that it's, yeah, on the one hand more sturdy, and on the other hand it looks a little bit nicer than before. And the same thing I did with the other spine. On both spines, I used my bone folder and went over this thing several times to get really this folds into this material. That was not so easy because, yeah, the fabric is fabric, you know. So here you can see the second spine, so that will be, yeah, the second one. Okay, so it's the next day, and as you can see, this has changed a little bit. So the first thing that I had to wait for is that everything is really dry. So everything that I glued with Mod Podge before is completely dry now. That was a little problem, especially with this cover here. So the cover made a little, hill during I glued this, and when I dried it with my heat gun, this was not flat anymore. So I put this below some really heavy books overnight, so this is now really flat and it's completely dry. But you can see that this thing here is now on the other side of the journal. So I decided during the night that I want to have the end result like this and not like this, how I originally planned it. The reason is, when I put this like this, it looks nice. We could do a little collage here or something for the cover itself, but this thing is really not sturdy when it's laying on the table. And I think even when I put a sturdier spine here later, then this is really, not comfortable. So, and I think when you turn it the other way around, it's not only more sturdy because now this whole thing is laying on the hardcover book, but it's also more beautiful when we put a collage or something as a journal topper here and have this soft cover thing on the top, and the hardcover is the base for it. So in the end it will look, it looks a little bit strange, something like this. Yeah, and the other thing that happened overnight and that brought my plans for recording this video a little bit in trouble is that I now actually have to, can you hear that? I have to babysit a little birdie. Come out. So let me show you and introduce you to this little birdie. His name is Hubertus and a friend of mine here from the campsite, he found him yesterday on the street without his parents, and so he decided to take him to his caravan and try to bring him to life, or how can I say that in English. So the friend wanted to take a ride with his bike, and so he asked me if I can babysit this little Hubertus birdie here. So I have him here next to my desk, and I have to go every half an hour and look if he's okay and if he wants to eat something. And obviously he's very hungry at the moment. So that's my second problem that I have to check if this little guy here is still intact and happy and warm and that stuff. So that I have to stop my camera every few minutes and take care of him. But I just wanted to share this with you. So I think he's a really strong little bird, and I think he will manage this little thing here and this problem that he has in his life. But I thought I would like to show him to you and would like to introduce you to him. Him to you, I don't know, you know what I mean. So I think I will bring him back, give him some fresh worms, and then I will be back and we will going to finish this journal, hopefully. Do you like some worms? Now? I will be back in a second. Okay, so here I'm back to create something like a journal topper for this soft cover part on the very top of this journal. And at this time I thought, oh, this is a cool project. It's going fine and everything is okay. let's take this little scarf here and let's take some double-sided tape and tape it there and create something beautiful for the for this front of this junk journal. Yeah, so perhaps you will see that in a second what happened there to me. So I say it now because, yeah, of course I know what will happen in a second. Perhaps you see it, but I haven't seen it. So yeah, I went on here with this thing, added some of these book corners, and I was really happy because they yeah, could be attached really easily. As you can see on the bottom there's this double layering, so I mean this scarf and the book cover. On the top there's only the book cover, and that was not so easy with this thickness of the material, but it worked, as you can see in a second. Then I started layering, yeah. Happy girl, I thought, okay, this fits really well together, let's do some collage, let's show the people some different options, how they can do this by themselves. And yeah, so I created this topper thing here out of these materials. Before I show you this really big mistake and my original reaction about that, you will hear that in a few minutes, let's talk about how I did this. So yeah, first of all, I thought I would like to put these book corners only on the bottom of this thing to make it a little bit more irregular, but then I thought that that looks a little bit strange. I wanted it yeah, to look like a real book, so I decided to attach this both corners to the top as well. Then I glued my layering here with some Mod Podge. So these are only some leftovers from a shopping bag, some leftover lace and that stuff. And yeah, what will I say? I dried that with my heat gun so that, yeah, I can go on with the next steps. I like drying everything with my heat gun. So that I can go on. Here I'm checking if everything is in the right place, and I thought, okay, everything is okay. Everything is okay. Let's fold this here so that we can see from the front side where this has to go. And then, yeah, I decided with which glue I want to glue that. So I took my glue gun and, yeah, thought that would be the best and the fastest way to glue that. And yeah, I attached these things here, played around a little bit with this layering and with the different materials, tried to add the end of this scarf as well, so that was also not so easy. I glued one part here to the back side as well, so that it looks like it is wrapped around this whole cover thing. Then I put my hot glue on the back side and press it here. Yeah. At this point, I was really happy. I was satisfied and I thought, okay, let's add some details here. So I added this piece of lace and this really beautiful button here. So I think that fits really well to the rest. And that looks like, yeah, some kind of a little embellishment to this cover. I don't want it to be too overloaded and too much. And yeah, I thought that would look really nice. I added some hot glue here to the edges as well, because that was a little bit tricky to get the glue until the very edge of this piece. Somewhere I had to put my fingers, so I had the problem that I couldn't do that in the first step. So I repaired this little areas there and added some glue. And then for the inside, I took this file folder thing here. I guess you could also use, yeah, some cardstock or that stuff in the right size. In the right size. And yeah, here I'm adding some of this green fabric scraps and some of the other material that I have used on the front. So I mean, from this scarf, I played around a little bit with different options how to add that and how to attach that. And yeah, so then I sewed around a little bit, removed this original thing from this file folder so that I can sorry, glue it easier to this thing. I took some chocolate. So this is the chocolate that Barbara has sent to me in the envelope. Yeah, she sent her signature with, and that was really helpful to have. because yeah, this measuring thing is not mine normally. And yeah, so here I'm measuring and I'm thinking that everything is okay. So I put my glue here to the back side of this thing to glue it. So I first glued the back side of this thing. So it's, as you can see, yeah, this file folder thing has 2 layers, of course. So I had the chance to make that in so I mean step by step, and that I could see really well where it has to go, where I believed it has to go. And then I have sewn around here so that this is really sturdy and yeah, really well attached. And then I can flip it like this, and I will sew here also, so that this thing looks like this now, so that this is the inside of this whole thing. And now I thought this thing is sturdy until the very outside. So here I have sewn some of the scarf things there, but I thought that looked really beautiful, so that was an accident, but I thought I like it. So yeah, then here on the top we have this little pocket, so that you can put something inside there. And then I put the signatures in there, and at this moment I thought something is a little bit strange, because yeah, this material was really wide. So I mean, this part where the file folder was glued was really wide, but I thought, okay, I have measured it, so it has to be the right size. So I went on. And here I'm gluing a piece of the digital paper, The Show Must Go On, that we all used to create this project, to also a piece of this file folder. I distressed the edges so that it looks a little bit more vintage. And the most of the artists that are joining this project distressed their cards and their tags as well. So I thought I would like to do it here also, so that it fits really well to the rest and that it looks really vintage and old. And here I made a similar technique like on the front cover. So I created this little pocket from the scarf here as well. I used double-sided tape, and later on I distressed this part of the scarf as well, so I mean the edges of this scarf, so that it looks a little bit more yeah, harmonical to the rest. And yeah, from this pillowcase there was this little sewing thing there on the top, so that this part wasn't a real rectangle. So I decided to cover this backside with some pieces of the printable. Then I cut out this butterfly to make a little embellishment to the top. I also distressed it so that you don't see this, you know, this white edges from the cutting. I took the thread from my sewing machine that was laying around there from the sewing before, and then I took the same lace that I used before, so that everything fits together. And please excuse my hand in the camera frame. I thought my camera was not working as well as it should be. So yeah, then I sewed over this whole thing so that I have this together now. And then I struggled a little bit with this little piece that I had left over from the scarf, and then I decided to put it just under the wing of the butterfly. And yeah, where to attach this? Do you know these problems that you made an embellishment and you think, okay, it goes there, and then you are not sure what the exactly right position is? But you will see in a few minutes that this is really, yeah, some kind of a tiny problem. A really, really tiny problem. So yeah, I put this all together and checked if this will fit. And then I thought, okay, now I can sew in the first 2 signatures. So I made this template, took some chocolate from Barbara, because it's a really, yeah, a really strange feeling to sew in signatures from, yeah, another person, so from other persons. So I mean, when I make my own signatures and I make my own mistakes and I poke holes into my own signatures, it's a totally different thing than doing that with signatures from other people. And I was a lucky girl that I haven't poked any hole on the wrong place, but it was a really exciting thing. And when I made the first holes, I was like, "Whoa, what am I doing here?" Hopefully everything will go right. Yeah, so I took my thread, and here I'm stitching this in, I'm binding this in with a 6-hole stitch. I like to do that. I know most of the people, no, I don't know most of the people, I don't know, but many people use this 3-hole stitch, and I like to use 6 holes. So yeah, here you see I forgot 2 holes, but that was not the problem. I could easily make them there, and yeah, then I attached this here with a 6-hole stitch. For my opinion, it's a little bit more sturdy, and I think it looks a little bit more nice from the inside and also from the outside when you don't make a hidden spine. So the next signature is going in here. So yeah, again 6 holes, and then I attached this here. And it was also really interesting to experience the different materials that I'm poking through here. So that was a totally different feeling to make the holes in each signature. Of course, there are different materials, and you know that from your own signatures, but of course you know that the things that you did before, and that's strange. That was really, really strange. And yeah, so then I looked at this here. I thought, okay, that looks good. I measured everything for the next spine and wanted to sew in the next both signatures that go into this middle part of the whole thing. And what you can hear in a few seconds is my original reaction. I decided to leave that in this video because, yeah, I don't want to be alone with this thing. It was the hell, I can tell you, it was the hell. Here I'm making my marks for the holes. I thought everything is okay, but yeah. Experience it by yourself, please. It will come now. Oh mein Gott. Nein. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Ganz ruhig bleiben. Und ich wundere mich schon. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Okay, so this is the moment. I could cry. I definitely could cry. I will need more of this. Here are only 3 left, but that's definitely not enough. I've never experienced such a thing in my whole junk journaling life. I can tell you I made many mistakes when I tried to bind a journal for myself, for customers, for whoever. But I've never made a mistake like I made here, just in this moment. Oh, not in this moment, but a few hours ago. I've never made such a big mistake. I just realized, oh my goodness. This is such a pleasure to have. These signatures are Altogether, such a treasure. And I made the biggest mistake in my whole junk journaling life. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I was wondering the whole time about this space here. So I put the signatures, both signatures in here. And as you could see, I had sewn them in just a second ago. And I was always wondering about this space here, but I thought, okay, that's enough for whatever. And now, perhaps you have seen that the whole time before, I don't know. Now I'm realizing that when I put this both signatures in here, and this 3 here, I can easily make this like so, and this would fit perfectly. It's, yeah, what I planned, but I can't flip this to the inside because I'm such an idiot. I'm such a big idiot. I could hurt myself because here is this pocket underneath that makes it so sturdy that I can't fold it here. So I forgot to make the fold here, and this thing on the outside, I think, let me just put this out here. Oh my goodness. This thing here on the outside, I think it's much too wide on the left side. So I mean, this here is the space I need in, so next to this one here on this side. Of course, the size of the spine, so these are 2 centimeters. No, I don't know. I think this is 2 centimeters, isn't it? Yes, the spine of this is 2 centimeters, and I need this 2 centimeters here as well, of course. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I will definitely need some alcohol now or something really, really strong. That stuff that Barbara has sent has no alcohol in it, unfortunately. So now you will see me trying to repair this. I don't know how. Definitely not. But I have to find a solution. A quick solution. Because this video has to go online someday. Okay, so here, what the fuck, eh? Sorry. From here, so here, this whole thing, you can't see the spine. I can feel it here. So I made it that I can feel this what's here underneath. And I can lightly see it. It's not visible in the camera, but the spine of this middle thing here goes approximately until here. So, not approximately, it goes exactly until here. So we will need 2 centimeters in here, into this thing. And the one possibility is to cut this here and make this new. No, I definitely will not do that. The other way is to find a solution how to make a fold here into this whole thing. But I don't know if I have enough space with this book cover that I glued to the front. Okay, so welcome to Louise HEINZL's emergency room. I can't tell you my feelings when I rewatched this video and do this voiceover for this video. My heart was beating like, I can't tell you, like this techno sound music thing. And I thought, okay, what can happen? So first of all, I thought, let's make this whole thing much better than it was planned in the beginning. My junk journaler heart began to beat, and I thought, okay, let's solve a second problem with repairing this first problem as well. So as you can see, I cut this file folder, then I added this white fabric, and then I added a 2 centimeter piece of cardstock to make this flip. I covered that with the same green fabric than I have attached before to the inside of the cover to make that, yeah, let me say invisible or that stuff. So that it is not like, oh, here's a cut and there's the thing that she repaired it. So I wanted to have this, yeah, the most possible invisible, yeah, you know what I mean. So then I glued this green fabric to this cardstock thing as well to have this little flap, and used my bone folder to make this folds, yeah, so that they can fold easily. Glued everything with my heat gun. I was so nervous in this moment, I can't tell you. But in the end, you will see George Clooney would be really proud of me. In my emergency room here. So hopefully you got this joke. So yeah, here you can see me gluing this original thing back to the place where it was. So I mean, the space that I had there was enough, but it was not flexible enough. So yeah, you already got the problem. Then I glued that back, laid some heavy books on top, and waited until this was dry. Then I made a second piece like I made before, to create a second part of this cover thing for this part of the journal. Then I glued this to this little flippy flap thing there, dried that as well, and went over this part with my sewing machine later. So that was not so easy to bring this whole stuff with the 2 signatures already sewn in under my sewing machine, but it worked, so that this thing is now really, really sturdy. And look at this. Now I have a normal cover around this thing, and that protects the pages of this both signatures much better. So you can press it down here like this, close this part, this is nice and sturdy now, close this part, and this will stay closed by itself. I was so proud, I can't tell you, and I was so happy. Thousands of stones fell off from my heart in that moment. So I don't know if that can be said in English, but in German it would be like that. Sorry. Okay, so then the normal way went on. So I could take the next both signatures, poke the holes, and sew them in. I was so happy. So yeah, here I used this 6-hole binding method as well. And as you can see, in the first step, I let the thread a little bit loose, and then in the end, I tightened it. That was much easier because of the 2 signatures in the other part of the journal, so that I have shown you before. There was not so much space for my hands. It was a little bit tricky, but yeah, it worked, as you can see. So here we go with the second signature. So originally this was 1 signature. That's the signature by Tina from Shabby Dabby Duda, and she did a really amazing job, as I told you in my unboxing video already. And this signature was so thick, you can make a whole journal out of this signature. So I decided to divide this also into 2 to make it look a little bit more harmonical in the end. And yeah, I think that worked. Look at this. It's really great. Okay, so next I have sewn in the last signatures. The signature of Barbara from 49 Dragonflies, I also divided into 2, as I said in the very beginning of this video, so that this whole thing looks a little bit more harmonical. I will not show you the whole process here again. I think you know what I did, with the other both parts of the journal. It's the same here. I used also 6 holes and sewed those signatures in, and I was so happy when they all were in. You can't believe. Yeah, so here we go. This is now the nearly finished journal, and let me show you this a little bit closer. So of course we need a sturdier spine, but when you put it to the table like this, you can see this here is a little bit strange. That's not because of a fault with measuring or that stuff. It's because this book cover I used is so old, and I think it's because it was wet on the street in Rome, and that made this cover really, really strange. So I thought about making a closure around this part of the journal. I took this sari silk thing that Rachel has sent with her signature. So she packed that signature and wrapped this sari silk around it. And I thought these colors would fit really well. So I used that. On the right side, you can also see the spine that I have created out of camera, so that this video will not be too long. So I took this piece of a t-shirt, so that had this sewn hole in it, because I don't know how to make such holes with my sewing machine. So I used that to bring this sari silk through it, and that this hole is really sturdy. So I used that, yeah, like a little protector, or how would you say that? Then I glued this. Yeah, if you want to do it, please don't glue the sari silk there. That has to be flexible, of course. Now we can make this little bow there. I will show you that later in detail. Here's the spine that I made out of camera. It's only a collage out of leftover fabrics and lace. I backed that with some sturdier fabric material to get more sturdiness to the spine now, and then I glued that. And to make this inside here, where the sari silk comes out or goes in, yeah, belonging to how you would like to see that, to make this hole also sturdier and look a little bit more beautiful, I attached this thing here. I just cut a hole into this flower of this lace thing, and then I glued it, and to hide this edges, I glued a piece out of this ephemera pack. So that also comes with the ephemera pack of this kit, The Show Must Go On, that we all used for this project. And then I just teared this flip. Originally, you know, I wanted to use that to make a collage to the front cover here, but then I used it in this way, attached also another piece of the ephemera pack that originally is meant to be a journaling card, but of course you can take every piece of an ephemera pack and turn it into something else. So I made this little pocket, also added this piece of lace here to get this context to the other elements of this book, and then I glued it so that it becomes a pocket in the end. And I wanted to have something of this writing from the book cover there, but not everything, so I think that's a good solution. And then I tried to make the threads on the outside of the book invisible. I took only these little pieces of scrap here, run them through my sewing machine, made a little sewn pattern onto them, and glued them right on top of these threads here, so that the most of the spine is still visible. So I mean, a little bit of the writing and this black lines of this book are still visible. I did the same thing, or nearly the same thing, on the other side as well. To hide this little threads there, I just glued some white fabric. And then the relaxing part began. I took some Distress Oxide inks in a vintage photo and a little brush, and I tried to get this whole thing a little bit more, like this used look, this vintage look, a little bit distressed, and I wanted to make it a little bit more old. And these white elements, I thought it would look nicer if they would be a little bit brown and in this typically vintage and old look. So I distressed some of the areas, and also in the inside I wanted to have this sections of the book be more visible, and so I tried to get this ink there where perhaps normally such a book would be become old by itself or by using it. Whew, Yeah, so, and that's it. This is finished now, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness. Here it is. Here it is finished. La 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 la. Oh my goodness, I'm so proud. But my desk, look at my desk. This desk looks like a bomb has fallen to it. It's absolutely a mess. So I would like to do a quick flip through of this journal, and then I will tell you what you have to do to win this gorgeous journal. It's, oh my goodness, I'm so in love with this journal, and one of you will have the chance to win this. So let me just turn the camera and then we will flip through this. Okay, so here we go. So as you can see, I've added this little tag here to this front pocket. I made an extra video where I show you how I made this. So if you are interested in this video will go out the next days. So yeah, I had the feeling that I needed something to put in here in some similar colors than we have here. So yeah, it felt a little bit, this cover felt a little bit lost or something like that. I had the feeling that I need this turquoise here. So here we have the spine now. And yeah, the back side is really unspectacular. Oh, what's that? Sorry. So from this side it looks like this, and it's so big. Sorry, so it's like this. And yeah, so let's open it and let's go through it. I think it's, yeah, some kind of a difference when you look at the single signatures than when those all are sewn in. So I have shown you a flip through of all the signatures. If you missed that, the playlist is down below in the description box where you can find all of those videos where I unboxed the signatures of the different artists that have sent the signatures to me. But I think it's a really different feeling to see that in the whole context of this thing. It's just gorgeous. So let's perhaps start with this part of the journal. So we can open this like so, and then we can flip through this perhaps first. I think we will start here in the end and then go to this side. So this project was so exciting and so different than everything that I made before that I would like to start the flip through from the end of the journal. So here's one part of the signature from Barbara of 49 Dragonflies. I will not take out all of these things now because I have shown you that in detail in the other video, but I wanted to have you this feeling that I had when I went through this here again, and that's so amazing. It's just amazing. So yeah, I think this was the most exciting and most wonderful thing that I ever did on YouTube. This whole collaboration, I mean, with this English-speaking people and also with the German-speaking people. Perhaps you know that I made this nearly the same collaboration with some German YouTubers a while ago. This is so exciting, and this is just wonderful, just wonderful. Yeah, so I can't tell you my feelings. It's so incredible, and I just love every page of this journal. And the new owner of this journal will be, I think, more than proud to have this with all these beautiful elements and all this inspiration and ideas of the artist that has sent this to me. So this was the signature by Christina from Una Tacita de Scrap. And this is the second part of Barbara's signature. As you have seen in the video, I divided that into two because of the thickness of this signature, so that this part of the journal gets not too bulky. And as you can see, this is laying flat to the table now. So you have the possibility to write in the signatures. And I think, yeah, the other way that would not be possible. So yeah, then we have this part here, so you can turn it like this, and then you can turn this thing here wherever you want it. It's only sari silk, not only sari silk, because this is the silk that Rachel sent, and this is really a really gorgeous color. So I am still wondering if she did that by herself, but yeah. So okay, so if you want to win this journal, you have please to leave a comment that includes answers to the following 2 questions. So by the way, this is the signature of Tina by Shabby Dabby Duda, so that I mention this again. So I want you to answer 2 questions, and that's really a tiny thing to do to win this journal, I think. I want you to answer 2 questions, and you have to leave a comment that includes these answers to this both questions. So the first question is, what have you won with this collaboration series? So what have you taken from this video series that we have done in the past days? I want you to write something down that you have seen here, perhaps a new idea, perhaps something that you have never seen before, or something that you want to try tomorrow because it's so exciting and such a great idea. What is the thing from this collaboration series that you have as your personal highlight? What is your personal highlight of this thing? That is question number 1. Question number 2, and I have to bring this here a little bit more out of the way because otherwise I can't bring this into my frame. This is really big. So, but we can also do it like this. That would not stay there. So you can open this like so. This is the signature made by Rachel from Roxy Creations. And the second question is, I can't bring that into my camera frame. I have a problem, and I have not enough space on the right side of my desk here. Sorry. So the second question is, what are your wishes for content for the future on my or the other YouTube channels? So perhaps you can imagine when you have a YouTube channel that it is really, really important to know the wishes of your audience. So the wishes of you. So if you have anything that you want us to create, if you have anything that you want to see, then please write that to the comments. So that's the second answer you have to write in your comment to win this journal. I will write everything down below to the description box again so that you can read that after you have watched this video. Here we come to the signature created by Joey DeFee. And I will write that down into the description box so that you can read it there again, so that you are not confused while you are watching this and afterwards you don't know what to do. So you all are intelligent people, of course. I don't mean that bad, but it's just an information that everything is listed down below in the description box. Every information is written down there again. And also, if you want to have the digital printable paper collection, The Show Must Go On, that we all used here to create this journal, the links are down below in the description box as well. You can get the paper collection in my Etsy shop. And yeah, so that's all. You only have to answer to this both questions to win this journal. And I think I will be really happy when I know the name of the person who gets this, because then I know where it will go. And I know that there will be a really, really happy person in this world to have this journal. I think it's just, yeah, it's just a pleasure, and it's just so wonderful. It turned out so great. So I don't want to sound arrogant or that stuff, because yeah, you know what I mean. But all those people spent so much love and so much creativity and so much of their heart and of their soul to make these signatures that are in here. And I have spent so many hours to make this cover and to make this fit. So I hope that this will go into really, really good hands to a person that really appreciates it. And I'm really excited to tell you in a few days who has won this journal. So this giveaway will run one week from today. So yeah, that means the exact date will be down below in the description box as well, when this giveaway will be closed, and you have the chance to answer this both simple questions until that date, and then a few days later you will get to know who has won this incredible journal. It would be helpful if you have subscribed to my channel. I would, of course, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, but it's not necessary to join this giveaway. But if you want to get an information when I upload the announcing of the winner, then it would be really helpful if you would subscribe. Otherwise you have to check if the video is online, and I hope you will get back and check that. I want to thank everyone so much for watching. Thanks for being here with me, and also thank you very much for being in this live chat that was running while this video was playing here. I really, really appreciate all of you. So, you know, I'm struggling with the English language so much, and you are here, even if I'm talking weird English, and I really, really appreciate that. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart that you are here and that you leave so nice comments and that you support me in such a heartwarming way. It's so outstanding, and it's a really special thing for me. And yeah, what shall I say? It makes my life so much brighter and so much happier. And you can't believe what that means to me. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for this. And to all of the lovely ladies that joined this collaboration, thank you so very much. I have never experienced such a great collaboration. So this was my first collaboration in this size. I think it's, little metaphor, or how is that called in English? I don't know. So Barbara, Christina, Joey, Tina, Rachel, thank you so very much for doing this with me. It was really a pleasure for me. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart as well for doing this with me. I will never forget this in my whole life. It was so outstanding. Thank you so much. So yeah, I wish you all very good luck, or how is that said in English? So leave comments and answer both questions to win this journal. We will see the next time. Have a very great day, and yeah, see you. Bye bye.